So welcome. Today we are going to be using a few props to help make this restorative. So you need a bolster, and if you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple of bed pillows, so kind of long pillows to support the abdomen and the back as we do some restorative postures. And then it will be good to have an extra pillow, or you could use a couple of couch cushions or just an additional pillow. And then a strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a tie or the waist tie that you use on your robe, anything. And you can also, make do without it as well. We'll probably, if you like to have a block for practice, we won't hurt to have a block as well. But the main thing is to have a bolster or a variation on a bolster, and then an extra cushion that we'll be using under our heads. And so to begin, we're actually going to start class today by taking the bolster or the pillows long ways to support our back, and then have a pillow for our heads, and then have a strap nearby. And we're going to put the bolster under our low back. And then set up the pillow for our head, so our head is nicely rested, shoulders are resting down on the earth, and then we're opening our arms up so our shoulders and our chest get this nice opening. So you can adjust this any way you like. You may want to play with the pillows so you're getting more of an arch. So I'm getting more spinal shape, depending on how I adjust my pillows. But the main thing is that we're starting in a nice restorative shape, giving some support to the lumbar curve and opening up the chest. So as you arrive in this shape, just make sure that you're able to have some fluidity in your breathing. So I'm finding that my neck is a little, my chin is a little close to my chest. So I'm going to adjust that so that my cervical spine still stays intact and I can feel really easy in my breath. And then I also want to make sure that my shoulder blades are able to rest down on the earth, and that I'm not holding my arms or my shoulders in any awkward shape, that they're really gravity's able to allow them to rest all the way down, which helps the lengthening of the front of the pectoral muscles, the tops of the heads of the shoulders here, and then opening up the palms toward the sky. So there's just all this easy availability of lengthening the front of the body, the front of the chest, lengthening the abdominals, and then letting the pelvis be nice and heavy, and my legs are just turned out so they're in a natural shape. I'm not holding them in any direction. There's a little turnout in my feet and my ankles, and that's fine. And then maybe, just turn your head side to side a little bit and make sure that you're in a really comfortable shape. And then go ahead and really deepen into your breath here. This is nice permission to arrive in class with a relaxing, restorative shape to allow the body to just unwind and arrive comfortably. If any part of the shape just doesn't feel natural, then adjust it, take out a pillow. You could just be on the earth. For those just arriving, we're working with a bolster under the low back, under the back, and then a pillow under the head if that feels good. And then letting the arms be open, stretching out the muscles of the chest. And then just arriving gently, filling into the breath. letting the pelvis be heavy. And now if your legs are straight, then go ahead and gently, one by one, bend one leg and place the foot gently on the mat, and then bend the other and place it gently on the mat, and just adjust to this shape for a moment, feeling the different places that are pressing into the mat or onto the pillow. Keep the breathing moving through the belly, through the back waist. Letting gravity just gently pull the arms and the shoulders down toward the earth. And then we're going to gently press into the feet, lift the hips, and move the bolster, the pillows out from underneath. And then lay the pelvis back down, adjust for a moment to feel the pelvis and the back and the head now just on the mat. So a slight variation of where we just were, but with changes in where the pressure is, where the bones and the muscles now lie on the earth. Bring your hands to your belly and just notice the rise and fall of the breath. See if you can let your exhale be nice and long, pausing at the bottom of the exhale. Seeing what can relax and just find in the stillness as the body exhales and grows heavier down toward the earth. And then as you fill the body, noticing the changes and the expansion. And then go ahead and bring the knees in toward the chest. And then hug the knees in toward the sides of the ribs. And twirl the toes and the feet so you get some movement in the ankles. Go in both directions. And then point the toes. And then flex. And point. And flex. And then just relax the feet. And then gently roll side to side. Just very easy movement on the back. Just kind of letting gravity move you gently. And as you go, you can go a little further to one side and then just pause there for a moment. And then roll to the other side and just pause. And we'll do one more on each side, just slowly moving to the side and pausing. And then final side, just take a nice roll to the side and pause. And then come onto your back. Bring your hands behind your head. Keep your left leg, your thigh bone straight up from your pelvis. You can let the lower leg just relax. And now extend the right leg and just hover it over the mat. And now bring that right leg up so it's straight up from the pelvis. It's not close into the chest, but it's just straight up toward the sky. And then extend the left leg long and just hover it. You want to keep the pelvis anchoring down, the belly button anchoring down. And then switch. So extending and hovering the right leg just over the mat. And replacing that leg, slowly extending the left leg. And switching. Seeing if you can keep the upper body from tensing. So seeing if you're somehow bringing your shoulders up to the ears, switch legs. Or if you can keep the shoulder blades relaxing down, belly button still moving toward the spine, so you're not poofing out the belly. Great, and then bringing the legs in, hugging into the chest. And then bringing the knees around and doing some circles on the low back. And switching directions. Imagining that there's a clock on the back of the pelvis and you're trying to hit each of the hours. And then bringing the feet down, knees remain bent, and then grab your strap and unwind the strap, and then bring the strap to the underside of the right foot. And before you extend the leg up, just for a moment, hold that leg in, and you can keep that left leg bent, or if it's available to you, you can extend the left leg. If you extend the left leg, take your left hand and then just rest it on top of the left hip. And as a reminder to anchor that leg and that hip and that side of the pelvis, or the whole pelvis down, so that this part of the body is engaged and or gently engaged, but really helping to be the foundation here. So now we're going to take a big full inhale of breath, and on your exhale, extend that right leg up to the sky. It's okay if the knee is bent, that's fine. The main thing is that this part of the body, the pelvis, is anchoring down. And if you like to wrap the strap around the hands so that the arms can just rest and let gravity do some of the work, go ahead and do so. Make sure the back of the shoulders and the neck are not holding any tension. And just reach that left heel up toward the sky, and then just relax into this posture. So we're both working and stretching and making a shape with our body, but we're also creating some ease and some relaxation throughout the body too, and throughout the nervous system. So bringing some restoration as we create a shape. Breathing into the belly here, feeling the rise and the fall of the breath. Feeling the back of the heart relaxing back down toward the mat, and letting the back of the heart melt toward the earth. Shoulder blades are relaxed. Length on both sides of the neck here, so there's nothing crunching up towards your ears. And just letting gravity help pull the hands down, which is lengthening the back of this right leg. And also making sure that you're pulling both sides of the foot down equally. So sometimes you might be sickling the foot a little bit. So make sure that there's equality here in both The big toe mound and the small toe mound are pretty level. Great, and now let's bring the strap into your right hand. I like to wrap it so that I can just kind of relax that arm a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take my left hand and place it palm down, palm facing down on the earth, and then let my right leg come out to the side. My left leg and my left pelvis are anchoring down, and there's even a little bit of engagement in my core here. I'm reaching out through that right heel, so there's a lengthening and even a slight muscle tone in my right leg, and there's quite a bit of muscle tone in my left leg. So I'm not just falling over to the right. I'm using my abdominals to keep the pelvis level and down, and reaching through that right heel and keeping my shoulder blades down too, and tension out of my face and out of my neck. You can also open up the jaw and stick out your tongue. So that stretches the face, keeps us from feeling too serious, and it just lengthens and relaxes some of the muscles in the face, especially once we release it. And then engage the low belly just a bit, bring that leg back up, and now switch hands that the strap is in, and then gently pull the right foot toward your left ear. So you don't have to go far to feel that stretch in the back of the leg. We're still anchoring the right hip down. You can even take your thumb and hitch it into your right hip crease and just lengthen that hip down toward the bottom of the mat. Big full belly breath, a nice long exhale. And then bring the leg back up to center, release the strap, and then hug that foot in. Or you don't have to release the strap. If you like to use a strap for this, you can. Basically, we're doing a half happy baby here. So I'm bending my right knee and kind of hugging it in toward my chest and using my hand on the outside of my right foot to pull the knee down. Great. And now we're going to release that, and we're going to go into a restorative shape, by which we need to bring our bolster or our two pillows over to the left side of our mat. Have a pillow to go behind your head. This is where the couch cushion comes in. And what we're going to do, I'm going to, I want to be able to show you. I'm going to roll onto my belly or close to it. I'm going to take my right leg, I'm going to bend it, and I'm going to place it on the bolster or on the pillows. Then I'm going to lift up my chest, and I'm going to, let's actually move that cushion away for the moment. And I'm going to cross my arms and make a little pillow for my head, or you can use a pillow if that's not too much on your neck. It can be too much on the neck, so if so, we're just going to make a pillow with our crossed arms. So the bolster is under basically my right shin and under my upper thigh. So we're going to rest here in this shape, and you want it to be comfortable. There's going to be some stretch in the low back, so you really might feel that. If there's too much stretch in the low back, there's a couple options. One is remove one of the pillows. That will take out some of the lift, which creates that shape. The other is to take out both of the pillows. If that's still uncomfortable, what you can do is come more onto your side and then just let it be more of a side stretch, in which case you will want, or a side lying, I should say, in which case you will want the pillow. But the shape that we're going for at the moment is your left hip point is on the mat and your right knee is bent and that leg is up on the pillow. And we're laying chest down with our arms crossed, relaxing our head. So this is a great shape for just letting the whole belly and the breathing muscles just relax. So it's a beautiful shape to be in to help give some nourishment to our nervous system, our organs, and the parts of our body that need some caring and conscious rest and gentle care. So this is very restorative that way. So find your way into this shape. And if anybody is having a hard time finding this comfortable, give a wave. So we're going to be here for some breaths. And so really just deepen into this supported shape that may be a little new in terms of the sensations that you're feeling. But allow the mind to rest just on the cycle of breath. Allow your consciousness to rest on the ease at which the flow of breath can come in and also leave the body. If you feel any discomfort in your neck, just adjust slightly. You might want to take a micro adjustment to the position of your neck, or you might want to take more of a macro adjustment. So changing which direction your head is crossed, changing the position or shape of your arm, using a pillow or taking away the pillow. So making sure that the head and the neck are very cared for in this position. So we're going to make a slight variation to this restorative shape to turn it into a twist. So I'll try to walk you through it with my instructions, but if need be, you can also get up and look. But basically what you're going to do is gently prop your body up and come up onto your left hip so that you're now lying on your side. I'm going to now take that cushion, I'm going to put it under my head if it wasn't there before. So I am essentially lying on my left side, my left arm is outstretched. My leg is still in the same shape, but my left hip is now underneath it. So rather than it being face down on the mat. Now the difference here and where we're going is we're going to go into a supported twist. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to open it up toward the sky, and I'm going to now bring it out to the right. And here's where that second couch cushion or pillow can come in handy, which is now I'm going to open out to the right, taking a twist, keeping my right leg on the pillow, and my arm and my shoulder might easily come out to the right and rest on the ground. But this is your first twist of the day, and that might just be too much for your body. So there are a couple of options. One is bring that second pillow. So you have a pillow under your head, a pillow under your leg, and now you can bring a pillow under your arm or shoulder to bring the ground up to you to take a little bit of the twist out of it. So that might be a nice way to go, or at least to start. I'm going to bring my gaze out over my right arm. Now another option is if this twist feels like too much in the low back, you can move the pillows down and move the knee down, and that just lessens the sense of the twist. So see where you are in this. Basically what you want to do is find a twist shape, and I'm right now, in order for myself to get comfortable, I'm lifting up my shoulders and then placing them back on the mat. So I'm really trying to get both my shoulders down on the earth, and that helps my twist a little bit now. So this is not an ambitious twist. This is a restorative twist. So meaning that what you want to do is find that nice wringing out of the torso, of the rib cage, but not feeling any extra. There should be no discomfort in the low back. So that you can adjust with this top leg moving down, the knee comes down, or like I said, bringing a pillow to the right arm and shoulder. So once you're here, you just kind of want to adjust it so that you can find some comfort in being in a supported twist. So take another couple of breaths here, really deepening into the belly and the waist and the back body as you breathe. And then on your next exhale, bring that right arm over and then go ahead and push allow yourself to roll onto your back. You can now move the bolster, the pillows over to your right side. Move anything out from underneath your head. And with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, we'll grab our strap and now do the second side. So taking the strap now, hugging the left knee in toward the chest. And before you straighten that left leg, you can either keep the right knee bent or lengthen that right leg and then use your hand to ground down through the hip, through the thigh. Take a nice full breath in, and on your exhale, extend that left leg up toward the sky, lengthening the back of the leg and reaching that heel up. Now adjust your body so that there's a lot of length in the spine, there's an ease in the shoulder blades, lying flat on the mat, and the head, you can gently move the head from side to side so the sides of the neck are long. And then go ahead and find a comfortable place to just be lengthening that leg straight up to the sky. It should feel like the bone of the thigh is just resting in the socket. So it's if the knee is bent, that's fine too. Again, you still want to find a sense of the hip bone just being gently placed in the socket. And then wrapping the strap is a nice way to relax the arms and let this be a restorative restful pose on its own terms. So you are still creating a little bit of tone, but it doesn't have to be sort of practicing this idea of engaging the muscles, engaging the mind enough, but then creating a sense of ease and rest still as you make this shape. Can you rest your eyes into the back of their sockets? If you like, you can stretch open the jaw, stick out your tongue, and then rest the jaw, rest the face. And then let's take the strap into the left hand, take your right hand and place it on your right hip to remind the pelvis to stay put, and then lengthen that left leg out toward the left, flexing the ankle, both ankles, and reaching through that left heel. Right leg is engaged and pressing down into the mat, so you can feel your abdominals working at 10 or 15%. You're not over efforting there. And then inhale that leg back to center, switch hands with the strap, and then pull those right toes toward, or the left toes toward the right shoulder. Take your left thumb and hook it into your hip crease, and then anchor that left hip down while those toes reach up toward your shoulder. Big full breath into the belly, and as you exhale, release the strap, and then we're gonna hug that left knee in to come to half baby. Again, you can use the strap if that is easier for you to do, is you can keep the strap under the ball of the foot and pull it down. So either way, or the hand on the outside of the foot. Take a nice full breath into the belly, and then exhale, release that leg. And now we're gonna come into the restorative posture once again, now second side. So I'm gonna roll onto my right side, and then onto my belly. I'm gonna bend my leg and place the shin and the upper thigh on my bolster or pillows. And then I'm gonna prop my torso up so that I'm chest down now. And now I'm gonna fold my arms and cross them and rest my head down. Again, ways to modify this are to bring a pillow in, and or take one of the pillows out so it's not quite so high. So those are any of the modifications you can use to lengthen down here and settle in, and just really make sure the belly is comfortable and that the head and the neck find an easy place to relax. See if you can notice anywhere that you are unconsciously holding some tension, unconsciously holding your muscles. Can you make this posture 4% more comfortable for yourself through a large movement, through a tiny movement? So we're gonna slowly begin to turn this into the twist. So the way I like to do it is just come on, scoot my right hip underneath my left hip. Bring my right shoulder, so now my shoulders are also stacked. I'm just gonna make sure my shoulders are comfortable right now. My head is resting on the pillow. And then I'm gonna bring my left arm up to the sky and slowly take a twist. Now my left shoulder does not want to make it to the ground yet. It hasn't warmed up. It's not quite ready. So I'm going to bring that pillow now underneath my shoulder. I'm going to bring both my shoulders and my chest up, and I'm going to just gently adjust my twist. So I'm really trying to open up the heart toward the sky. Now I have this additional pillow under my left arm, which helps bring the floor up to me. And now I'm lifting my head and slowly bringing my gaze out over my left arm. I'm going to make some little micro adjustments here so that with the pillow, I'm going to scrunch that pillow in so that my left leg also feels nice and held, so that this twist feels really comfortable for me. I want to make sure my neck also isn't holding any tension. And then taking some nice, full, spacious breaths into this supported shape. Now as I'm breathing and resting into the shape, I think I might be able to move the pillow out from underneath my left arm. This may or may not be the case for you, that you're feeling more warm, but feel into, as you warm up and the muscles begin to relax and lengthen, you may adjust this a little bit. Make sure that left leg is able to stay heavy. It's a nice way to detoxify the organs. We're wringing the body out here in a very gentle and soothing way. And now we're going to slowly come out of this posture, but I'm going to move the pillows. I'm going to gently roll onto my back. With my knees bent, I'm just going to rest on my back for a moment. And anchoring down into the floor just to give a little counter shape to the twist. So just letting it be in a flat, neutral shape. And then gently arching the spine so I can feel air underneath my low back, and then pressing into that. So now engaging the lower abdominals and tucking the pelvis. And then one more time, arching the spine, lengthening through the lower back curve, and then flattening that curve and engaging the abdominals. Now roll to the side, move the props out of the way, and come onto your hands and knees. And turn your toes under and let your hips come back towards your heels. And then come onto your forearms. And then widen your knees just a little bit, and then widen your feet a little bit, and then send the hips back, and then gently go side to side, just gently moving the hips side to side. So you're stretching out the feet, you're also stretching out the hips, the hip flexors here. And now take your right arm and reach it up toward the top of the left side of the mat. And you can use your left hand to gently push into the mat. So we're lengthening the whole right side of the body, the ribs, the shoulder, the arm, the hands, reaching that right hip back. Now come back to center. Now take the left hand and reach it toward the top of the right side of the mat, and reach that left hip down, down and back. I'm using my right hand to gently push into my mat and lengthen through these ribs, fanning out the ribs, letting my neck be comfortable by gently resting my head down on my right arm. And then come back to center, and then just wiggle side to side here a little bit, getting into the sides of the ribs, letting the head and the neck get some movement here. If you start to feel uncomfortable with the toes, you can always just turn the toes under and be in this kind of modified child's pose. And then come back up, bring the knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders, and the tops of the feet are now on the mat here. And we're gonna dome the spine, and then inhale to arch, just taking a little cat-cow here. And one more time, doming the spine. And then come back to neutral, and now go ahead and take the spine in all the different directions and shapes you'd like. So do a little improvisational movement here, moving the head and neck. You can turn the toes under again and go back toward the hips. You can move the arms around, but just taking some nice movement. We warmed up the back nice and slowly today. So feel free to go into all the nooks and crannies here with the spine. And take another full breath, going any direction you like. And then find your way back to center. And with your hands, imagine that you're going to pick up your mat with your hands. You're going to almost like claw the mat. So your hands are very active, and it creates some strength around the wrist, so you're not overdoing the wrist. So now let's take the right leg back behind us, turn the toes under and reach the heel back. Press into the heels of the hands to reach that right leg back, stretching it out. And then shift forward. Now bring that right leg up. Bring the left arm alongside the ears. If you're not feeling very steady today, you can keep that left hand down. And then bend that right knee, and then go ahead and let's do 10 pumps up toward the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring that left hand down, straighten that right leg, and now bring it across the body, turn the toes under and place them on the floor, and then reach around, head toward that right foot. So you're stretching out the whole right side of the body here. Now lift that leg back up, and now bring the knee to the nose and hold it. And extend it. And now bring the knee to the right elbow and hold it. Now extend that right leg. And now cross the body, knee to the left elbow, hold it up. And extend it. And then replace that leg. Turn the toes under and then just reach the hips back for a moment and extend through the, lengthening the arms, extending through the back. And then inhale to come forward. Now send the left leg back, turn the toes under, and reach that heel back. Lengthening the back of the left leg. And then lift that left leg, trying to keep the pelvis flat rather than shifting that pelvis up. And then right arm alongside the right ear. Bend that left leg, and now let's pump the foot up to the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the right hand down, extend the left leg, cross that leg across the body. Turn the toes down, the ball of foot down, and then reach around, really lengthening through this waist, ribs. And then inhale that knee back and knee to nose and hug that knee in toward the nose until you feel the abdominal shake. Extend the left leg long. Now left knee to left elbow. And extend it long. And now left knee to right elbow. Extend it long and then replace it down. Now, place the hands really consciously down on the mat. Press down through the ring finger. Press down into the base of the thumb. Turn the toes under. Press them into the mat and then lift the knees just an inch. Belly button squeezes toward the spine. Take a full inhale, and on your exhale, lift the hips up and back to come into our downward dog. Lengthen the tops of the ears toward the thumbs. The middle finger should be facing the top of the mat. And pressing down into the base of the fingers as though you're pressing into soft sand to help protect the wrists. On your next inhale, come forward into plank pose. And then you can come through chaturanga onto your belly, or you can bring your knees down and just hug your elbows in to bring the chest down onto the mat. Now bring your hands alongside your chest. Your forehead rests on the mat. Your pelvis is resting on the mat, and the tops of your feet are also resting on the mat, and gently pressing down. Elbows are hugging in and streaming down towards your heels. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up into Cobra Pose, hugging those elbows in and reaching them down toward our heels, lifting the chest, broadening the collarbones, and letting the shoulder blades ride down the back. Exhale, come down, rest your forehead on the mat, and just take a resting breath. On your next inhale, we're going to inhale up again into Bhujangasana, baby cobra pose, a little higher now, lengthening that spine, lifting the heart up. Exhale down. And now bring the arms out to the side, elbows are up and you're on kind of spider fingers. And now we're going to come up by circling our shoulders side to side. So creating circles, massaging our trapezius muscles and our neck here, and just going side to side and letting the body go and the head go side to side like a wave. So you're massaging with those muscles. Might feel great, might feel a little strange or painful. If it's really painful, then just quit or, find stillness. And then make your way going side to side, back down. And then place your hands alongside your chest, turn your toes under, and press up into plank pose. Belly moves toward the spine, shoulder blades move down the back. Big full inhale and exhale back into down dog. Swivel both heels to the right and lift that left hip up toward the sky. Now come back to center and swivel both heels to the left and reach your right hip up to the sky. Come back to center, take your right leg up to the sky, and then bring it forward to come into low lunge. Bring that left knee down. And then just take a nice kind of bend forward into this low lunge. Letting the chest move toward the right thigh and really opening up this left hip. On your next inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the toes up toward the sky, and reach that right hip back toward the back of the room. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to lengthen. Toes up toward the sky. Inhale to come forward. Now place the left hand inside of the right foot. And then inhale that right arm up to the sky, taking a twist. Exhale that right hand down, place it on the outside of the foot, turn the back toes under and step back into down dog. Now inhale that left leg up to the sky, and then bring it forward, coming into our low lunge, second side, right knee comes down, and then just lengthen forward, letting that right thigh, those right hip flexors get a nice, good stretch. We're lengthening that left hip back and the right hip forward just to keep some evenness in the hips, some integrity in the hip joints. And then exhale, lengthen that front leg, bring the toes up, flexing the ankle and bringing the toes up toward the sky. Coming forward. Lengthening back. And coming forward again into our lunge, placing that right foot inside the left foot, right hand inside left foot, and then twisting that left arm up to the sky. Exhale down, bringing that hand down. Turn the back toes under, step back. Come into downward dog. Now take your right hand and reach it back towards your left calf, the outer shin. And then you can look out under your left armpit as you gently pull. Now bring that hand back. Now take the left hand, reach it back, grabbing the outer right shin. And inhale back to center. Now step, walk, or jump forward into a forward fold. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips, and raise your upper body. So we're in a chair pose without the arms yet. Now bring your right arm alongside the right ear. Sit back. Really feel the back working as this right arm is kind of glued to the right ear. Now bring the left arm alongside the left ear. And keeping your arms alongside your ears, now bring the head back a little bit and bring the arms with them. Take a big full inhale, and on your exhale, come up to standing. Circle the shoulders up to the ears, and take a few shoulder rolls. You can bend the knees and make it kind of a full body movement. And then grab your strap. And then bring the strap up over your head. Let's see. And have the feet nice and wide, and then go side to side with the strap. And if you don't have a strap, just grab anything. You know, you could even grab a shirt or something that just gives you something to hold on to. Going side to side. Now come back to center, and we're gonna let the arms come back behind us. And I'm gonna just lengthen the strap a little bit as I go lower, and I'm going to stop in a few places that feel really good. Now I also wanna keep my body from doing too much of this, so you kind of wanna still anchor your low ribs to your pelvic bones. So I'm gonna get to a spot where that feels really good, so I'm gonna just hang out there for a moment. So go ahead and just take your time bringing the strap all the way down. It's both stretching and lengthening as well as strengthening to do that. And now bring the strap back up. And now go ahead and take the strap in any position you'd like. So you can do a little bit of dance movement here, a little improv. You can just repeat what we just did. But just open up the chest, open up the heart, open up the front of the shoulders. Make sure your head and your neck get some nice fluid movement here too. And take another breath or two, just get in any movement that feels nice. And then we'll finish by clasping our fingers, intertwining our fingers, turning them inside out, and then rounding the spine. And then just doing a little bit of side to side here. So just a counter shape here to integrate all that opening movement with the strap. And then release the arms. And for our last shape, we're gonna take our pillows. So you can improvise this however you like. But what I'm gonna do is basically take my block. You can also use some pillows. And then I'm going to take the bolster, or my version of a bolster. Okay, this is probably not going to quite work, but I'm using all of my toys here. Okay, so the point here is that we're going to do a resting kind of legs up position just for our final resting shape before Shavasana. So you can create something like this. If you don't have these extra pillows, or for whatever reason that's just not feeling very comfortable, you can also just use the pillows under your knees. So that's another example. And then I'm going to take one of the cushions and I'm going to give it to my head. And then I'm going to let my palms be face up and just go ahead and take this nice supported shape for our pre-Shavasana, lead into Shavasana here. So as you arrive in this shape, just make sure that you're not holding any unnecessary tension in the shoulders or in the neck or in the pelvis or in the ankles or in your jaw or in your ears. Anywhere. Just see if you can adjust so that you really aren't holding yourself up. Having the legs raised a little bit is really good for the lymphatic system and our circulation. Nice way to move the blood around, and also just these shapes being supported by props gives the body this extra cue that you are supported, which during such times as these is extremely important to tell the nervous system that to the best degree possible we are safe in this moment, and that all of the restorative functions can be in operation. Our immune systems can be strong, our digestion can be strong, all the nourishment we receive from rest can be fully intact. So you're welcome to stay in the shape with props, or if you want to just take the last minute or so in a full Shavasana, just laying on your mat and letting your bones and your muscles reset just on the mat, you're welcome to do so. Or if you like this position that you're in, just feel free to stay in that. If you can find a sense of connection with the ease that you feel at the moment, Or maybe there's not a lot of ease, but there's a little bit of ease, a little bit of gentleness in your body or in your thoughts. Just take in what that feels like. Just notice the contours of that experience. What is it like to feel at ease in my body at this moment? To feel a gentleness in the breath. To feel perhaps a slowness in thoughts. The more awareness that we have of what the ease feels like, or what the experience is of us being in a relaxed state, the more we can consciously grasp it and thus return to it. So we kind of fill out the experience for ourselves in ways that make it more easy to return to or to access the nutrients in it. So it's not wasted time to examine or to just be curious or connected to this feeling of softness or rest. And so with that, with an eye to what it's like for you in particular, to feel calm or to feel at ease, see if you can retain that as you take a few breaths to gently roll to your side and spend a breath or so on your side. And then find your way up to a seated shape, but taking your time and again, seeing if you can hold on to the sensation of ease as you make a transition to upright. It's not easy to do, so experiment with it and explore what can you hold on to. And as we arrive and seated together, just feel into the center of the body, the heart space. Feeling a sense of warmth and connection, perhaps with your own body. And though virtual, a sense of kindness or just shared collective here with our little online yoga hour. And that may we also send out to whatever degree we possibly can a sense of love and peace and kindness to the parts of the world that are suffering right now, to the parts of our own cities that need understanding and change right now. And may our highest selves and our highest consciousness rise into those places. Let's open our palms and bring our hands together. I honor and I bow to the highest places in all of our hearts and minds. And may we be together with strength and unity. Namaste. Well, thank you all for joining me. I know most of you are on mute, so feel free to just sign out. And I do have a couple of questions that I'd love to ask you. If anybody needs to just head out, feel free. But thanks for joining me for class this evening. And what I'm sensing in general is that restorative postures are really helpful for our bodies and our communities right now. And so I'm really bringing in a lot of restorative yoga to this class. Are you all, first of all, have you all been able to do these postures with what you have at home?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't even have a bolster at home, and I'm kind of trying to do bolster-like postures. And do any of you
use a toilet paper? I mean, a paper towel roll.
Oh, for which thing?
For a bolster. I don't know.
That's great. Big, thick paper towels. Super. Okay. Yeah. Well, these are great things to hear and to share how people are kind of making do. One of the questions that I also have is because something that's been very helpful for me in these stressful times is using a foam roller. And I do have a foam roller at home, but I'm curious, do other people have foam?
I have one.
You have one?
I have one.
I have one.
Okay. Who doesn't have a foam roller? Okay. So it sounds like, because what I'm interested in doing is doing some classes that include foam rollers. Does that sound appealing to people?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Because
can borrow them from the gym.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
okay.
check out any of the
The gym
equipment
loans
from
them.
the gym.
Oh, that is great to know. Okay. Because what what was that?
She loans everything, blocks and
Okay.
weights and everything.
Well, maybe what I could do is in the description of the class is to say that we're going to use a foam roller. So if you don't have one, go and check one out. Okay. I may or may not do it for next week. I just wanted to get kind of a sense of whether that was even appealing to people and if people even had rollers at home. And since we're all here and since you folks are kind enough to share some thoughts, does anybody have any requests? And you're also welcome to chat, send a chat to me on that, like privately, but you're welcome to send me any requests. I'd really love to be doing these shapes or more, I'm open to it. I'm really trying to teach to kind of where we humans need it the most right now.
I'll just say I love everything you're doing, Cody, and the only thing I would add maybe is a little bit more stuff for the neck and upper back, because I just find I'm holding a lot of tension there.
You got it. That's great.
Me too.
Okay,
I think
that's great.
computer work when you're bent over all the time. And I have a lot of problems with the posture being bent over a lot.
Okay, that's great advice. Of course, that sounds wonderful. Okay, I will definitely take that in. Somebody else, did you want to say something?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Well,
all helpful.
okay, great. Well, thanks all. I will, you're also welcome to just add anything down below. If you haven't seen it, there's a little button down there that says chat. So I think if you click that, and there's a little arrow right next to it. I think you can pull, anyway, I think you can, oh no, down below it says everyone, or you can just chat with me, Cody Strauss. So anyway, if you want to just send me a little message there, you're welcome to as well. Anyway, I'll let you all go. Thanks for joining me. May your bodies and your psyches have lots of good recovery over the weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. I'm going to leave this open in case anyone wants to send a chat message.
Okay.
Hi, Ella.
Hi. Or feel free to just chat with each other.
Bye, Cody. Thank you.
Bye. I'm going to go get my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubba. Where's she? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hey, Bubba, you want to come in and say hi?
Oh, she's coming in to say hi, the little girl.
She was very intrigued with all the humans on the computer.
Oh.
Oh. Did you do a good job being quiet while Mommy taught yoga? So. Can you guys hear her in the background while I'm teaching?
Oh, yeah. You can hear her chatter. It's funny. Hi.
You want to say hi?
Apple.
Apple. Yum.
And what's this? What's that?
Spoon.
It's a spoon.
Spoon. Bye-bye.
All right. Can you
Thanks
say
for coming.
bye-bye?
Bye.
Bye.